Thank you for your purchase of the patented U-turn. I'm going to show you what you're getting in the package. You're going to get an all stainless steel shaft with a protective tip covering, a licensed sports decal of your choice, the one that you chose, a clear grip, and fully illustrated instructions. Now, I'm going to show you how to put all this together. This is what it's going to look like when you're finished. All right, now I'm going to walk you through the installation process, but first we're going to need a few items. First one is going to be some hairspray. Now this can be an aerosol can like this, or even a pump type is going to be perfectly fine. It doesn't matter the brand at all. If you don't have hairspray, another thing you can use is some dish soap and water. Now this is a 1 part to 4 parts dish soap to water. Mix it up in a little spray bottle. That's all you need. You're also going to need some masking tape. I'm using a little bit of a blue tape, which is perfectly fine. A small tape measure, a towel of some kind. You're going to need a device to hold the shaft. Now I'm using a vise on this machine here, and there's other devices and other types of things to secure your shaft. That's perfectly fine. The other thing is an air compressor. Now you can use any kind of small garage compressor. You want to make sure you have a tip like this. It's a free flow air nozzle. It's got a little tapered tip to it. That's going to be very important. There's also a air compressor that you can get for your car, your vehicle. The ones that plugs into your vehicle, these will work perfectly fine. So once you get all these things together, I'm going to show you how to put this all together for you. First thing you want to do is to make sure your vise is secure onto a table. Now you can use any kind of vise. You can use your workbench vise. You want to make sure that it is completely covered and protected. Put some towels or something around it so you don't damage the shaft. The way you want to put this in your vise is lay it in here. Now you want to make sure the tip of this is in a U fashion, so it looks like a U with the tips straight up. Now you also want to make sure you keep the protective cap on this because it's real sharp. We don't want you to get hurt. So you put it inside the vise, clamp it in, nice and secure. We got the U shape. Next step is to take your cloth, maybe a little bit damp, and wipe the shaft down. Now we're going to mark the shaft 10 inches. Now there's a couple little tricks for you. I'm going to show you is with the blue tape that I have. Here's the reason for that. You tear a piece off, and you want to fold over one edge, a little bit like that, because when you put it in here, you want to be able to lift it back off again. So now we're going to measure 10 inches down. Take your tape measure. You want it to go right against the edge and 10 inches down. Now this is where the decal is going to start, is at this 10-inch mark. So you want to put the edge of the tape right at the 10 inches, so you want to go back. Now the decals are a little bit longer. Don't freak out about it. It's planned that way. I'm going to show you why. Another thing I'm going to show you is if you don't have a tape measure, you can actually use the grip itself. At the end of the grip, there is a kind of a design, a little hash mark design. If you put that design right at the edge of the shaft and go down to the very, very end, that's also 10 inches. So I'm going to use this as an example. I'm going to line it up, go to here, take the tape right at the 10-inch mark. And there's your mark right there. All right, now we're going to talk about the decal. Now the decal has a couple properties to it. Of course, it's got a direction to it. Now we're going to want to make sure that the direction is facing down towards the tip of the U-turn. On the decal, you'll also notice little black hash marks. Now these are to help you line it up to make sure that it's straight and even. Some of the decals are going to be a couple different types. Some of them have a border around them, and some of them don't. This particular one has a border. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the border off first, like that. And that leaves you with the sticker part, or the decal. Now we're going to want to take this off and put it on your shaft. The thing is you want to do is you want to line up the hash mark right at the edge of the blue tape, and also as even as possible through the center of it, and you want to press down about an inch or so to keep it on there. Now what you want to do is you want to kind of go into the back and look down and line up the other hash mark as even as possible and spread it out with your fingers. Just kind of stick it on. Now once it's on there, what we're going to do is we're going to fold or roll the decal over. We're going to do it one side at a time. So we're going to take one side and roll it over completely with your fingers. And you want to check the bottom and make sure that it's even, there's no bubbles. Make sure it's all smoothed out. Now we're going to roll the other side over. Now what you want to make sure is it goes over the top. It's going to have some overlap, and that's what we want. So you take it and you smooth it out nice and neat like this. And again, go along the bottom and make sure it's nice and secure and rolled over the top. Now one thing you're going to notice is the sticker actually hangs out over the shaft part, and I talked about that before. This is what we actually want it to do, because what we're going to do is we're going to tuck the rest of it inside the shaft. So you just take your fingers and you can roll it over and tuck it in. Now one thing you're going to notice too is it leaves out some little crowns, little points. What I do is actually take your tape measure and use a side of it and just use it to smash it in a little bit. It makes it a little prettier. All right, now that the sticker is on good, the decal, you can take your tape off. You don't need that anymore. Now we're going to take the hairspray. And this acts like a lubricant. This helps get the handle, the grip on easy. So you're going to spray it down a little bit on both sides. And you're also going to want to spray some inside the grip. I'm going to do it for about 5 seconds. And you're going to want to rotate it. Make sure it gets all the way down and rotate it so it lubricates the whole area. Now on the grip, you're going to notice there's some hash marks too. If you can see it, there's a little hash mark on the top and bottom. And you want to orientate this as well to these other hash marks. You just slide the end over. It only needs to go on just a little bit. Now this is where your air compressor comes in. There's a little hole in the back. You put this right to it, and you're going to do the air, and it slides right on. Let go of the air. See how easy it slides right on? Now you want to take the hash marks, line them all up. It gives you some room to work on this. Slide it in good and tight, and take it out of your vise, wipe it down. You want to wait about 2 hours before you use it, and that's it. You're ready to barbecue. All right, now I'm going to talk about some safety tips with your U-turn. The first thing you want to do is to remove the plastic cover over the tip before you start to barbecue. Now this tip is very, very sharp, and we want to make sure you keep this out of the reach of children. Don't leave it unattended with children because they may get hurt. Just be safe with it. The other thing is you don't want to leave your U-turn on top of your barbecue if it's warm or hot, or even next to it, because the heat may radiate to this. It will get hot and you may get burned. You could. So be very, very careful with this. Use your common sense. And when you're done with it, please put the plastic cover back on the tip to protect it and keep it in a very safe place.